Hello. Is everybody here to see the future? Because I'm going to show it to you. This will be one of the coolest things you ever see. You'd be so sad if you missed this one. Aloha. Afternoon coffee, okay. Well, because I'm so fond of all you Periscope followers, I thought I'd give you a sneak peek of the future. You won't see this in the in the mainstream media or any other media, as far as I know. But we're in my man cave. This whole Trump thing is going to play out. A lot of people ask me, how in the world are we going to dehypnotize all the people who think they're living in 1930s Germany? And the answer is, it's going to go like this. So half of the country thinks Trump is Hitler, right? So January, he's Hitler, he's Hitler, he's Hitler. But you're going to see this transition to, well, he's not that Hitlerish. We still want to call him that, but really, that's not the problem. The problem is he's incompetent. He's incompetent. And then later, by the end of this year, I'm predicting, the people who hate him are going to say, he's effective. I don't like what he's doing. Okay? And here's why this is going to happen. It's the why that makes it fun. So the reason that people think he's Hitler, and think it in a literal sense, not, I don't mean the actual person Hitler, but as bad as Hitler in a literal sense, is because massive cognitive dissonance hit the country because the polls had told everybody that, first of all, they were the smart ones, and second of all, Clinton was definitely going to get elected. And when it didn't happen, they had to reinterpret their reality. And so they could either say, well, gosh, I guess all the people I've been mocking for the past year are actually the smart ones. And you can't really do that, right? Your ego won't let you do that. What you do is you don't say, hey, all my friends had it right and I had it wrong. You don't say that. Instead, what you do is you say, I think we just elected Hitler. Because you have to be right, right? So the important thing is you have to be right. And that's what triggers the cognitive dissonance, is that you have to feel you were right all along, and you're going to reinterpret your reality to make yourself right all along. But here's the problem. Your reality isn't going to hold because it requires confirmation bias. And sure, for a while, people are going to say every Supreme Court appointment, every statement he makes about immigrants is more Hitler. But it's going to start to look, especially as it moderates, less like Hitler and more like just sort of being Republican. You can hate it, but it doesn't look evil. It's not coming from an evil place. And that will be replaced with the theory that he's incompetent, and you're already seeing the transition. And the reason that incompetent will eat Hitler is that incompetent will have a steady stream of confirmation bias that will eventually peter out with Hitler. Because if Trump goes 6 months without putting anybody in a concentration camp, it's just going to be harder to hold this delusion. But you still can't be wrong, right? So you can't say, well, I was wrong about Trump, so you have to change why you object. And it will change from, he's literally Hitler, to, but he's doing everything wrong. Look at all that. There's leaks and there's incompetence and stuff. And the reason this will never go away is that it never goes away for any president, right? There will always be enough people on the other side to point to plenty of evidence that he is incompetent. Whether he is or not, it doesn't matter. There'll be plenty of confirmation bias. So because this one will have so much evidence and still allows you to be right if you didn't like Trump in the first place, this one will start to fade. It's never going to die. There will always be the holdouts. I'm not saying it goes away completely, but right now it's the dominant theme. And this is already in transition. You can see it on Twitter happening now. It's starting to morph into this, just because there's more what they think is evidence, but really is just the media turning anything into a mistake. In the real world, most things you do don't work out. and you have to adjust and pivot and all that. But in the cartoonish news world where things always have to work right the first time, it's one failure after another, one big mistake. But in the real world, you're always making missteps on little stuff. And, that's more normal than not normal. All right, so by December 27th, though, you're going to see that Trump has gotten a lot done, and it happens to be the stuff that Republicans like. And there might even be a few things that some people on the other side like. It's possible. But in any case, probably a lot of stuff is going to happen. It doesn't have to be everything he promised. It just has to be better than you thought it was going to be. And then people are going to say, well, he's not so incompetent, and he hasn't put anybody in a concentration camp. So I've still got to be right. That's the important thing. I just need to change my reasons. Now I say, yeah, he's effective, all right. He's effective in all the wrong ways, doing all the wrong stuff. He's doing stuff I don't like. So that's where it's going. So if you wanted to see the future, there it was. What if he puts people in concentration camps? Well, I figure I'll be dead that week, so that'll be your problem after that. Don't say the dam will burst. I'm here in California. We got a dam that's ready to burst. Thinks World War III is about to happen. Isn't this already World War III? Is there a size? Because it seems to me that the terrorism is worldwide, isn't it? That doesn't mean it affects every single country, but neither did World War II. So I think it's a little bit word thinking to say it is World War III or it's not World War III, because I think we all agree what it is. We would all describe it the same. So there's no particular reason to put a word on it. Kim Jong killed his brother. I don't really believe anything that I hear coming out of North Korea. It just seems like, the odds of any of it being true are pretty low. Yeah, I heard it just happened, but, and it might be true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying, can you really pay attention to anything that comes through sources so unreliable? What is one thing you know? The only thing I know is that I'm asking that question. And I know that was a trick question, but now you know that I passed. What is Pew D Pew persuasion power? He's only slightly on the periphery of my radar, so I can't say I have an opinion on him. Low-level World War III. Well, as soon as the drones get going, it's going to be a little higher level. So here's a question. I think it's fair to ask this because, it's not as if the terrorists haven't already thought of this, right? So I'm not going to be giving any ideas to terrorists because this is in the category of fairly obvious. But, the military apparently has these anti-drone guns that they aim up in the air and they affect the electromagnetic field and bring down a drone. But is the only thing that they do interfere with the signal that's coming from, does it only interfere with the signal that's coming from the controller, or does it also interfere with GPS? So yeah, you're ahead of me. So do those guns take the GPS chip out, or could the GPS still say, I was heading for this place and I'll just keep going? Yeah, it auto returns the drone. Well, if the drone is programmed to auto return, it seems like you could find out where it was launched from just by making an auto return, right? Do they do that? Because I've seen one auto return and it's freaky that can fly like a quarter of a mile away, literally disappear, and then you turn off the controller and you wait a minute and it lands at your feet, from a quarter of a mile away. It's pretty impressive. They could use a compass sensor. Yeah, so the question is, how long does it take before the electronic defense doesn't work? Or is it just a matter of having enough drones that you just don't have time to get them all? Because they don't cost that much, cheaper than bombs. Uh, oh, Trump is being held hostage. So how many theories have we seen about who is really controlling Trump? Is it Russia? Is it the deep state? Is it Bannon? So don't we have three completely different theories? Is it the alt-right? I guess that would be Bannon-ish. Is it China? I suppose it's possible that somebody is controlling Trump, but here's a let me give you a thought experiment. Here's a thought experiment. Imagine that any one of those people, somehow had power over Trump. Russia had some blackmail over him, or or Bannon was, like a master persuader himself. He was persuading the persuader, whatever it is, or the deep state. Imagine them just trying to deal with him. It would be the funniest conversation anybody ever heard. If you can imagine, somebody's in the room. All right, Trump, if you don't play ball with us, we're gonna let this blackmail shit out. And I think I just imagine him laughing and saying, "What the hell do you have that they haven't already heard?" And by the way, do you know I control the CIA and the army and stuff, and I can make you fucking disappear in about 10 minutes? So what do you got on me? Somebody says I was gay once. Somebody, like, what do you got on me? It's just not going to be a fair fight. I just can't really see the scenario where he cares. Like, even if they said, "Oh, you did something, illegal in business," or whatever the fuck it was, it just feels like more of the same. Yeah, kill his family. But every politician is going to have the same risk that somebody says they're going to kill your family, right? If you don't do what they want. So I'm not sure you can. Oh yeah, I saw the image of Miller's head on the stick. Oh my God, that's some scary stuff. All right, I'm gonna get off this right now. I got stuff to do. I got a Valentine to see, and all right. Take care, everybody. And remember, you saw the future. It's going to go from Hitler to incompetent to effective, but I really don't like it by the end of the year.